Good morning. I think I'm a little overdue, but I wanted to give everything a few days to wipe these lenses. Sorry about that. I wanted to give everything a couple days to set in and kind of see what was going to happen before I did my report, my walk around. Connie Mayer dragon fruit. All my dragon fruits did completely stood through it. I think we had 27 degrees or 28 degrees, something like that. Tomato had a light, just a tablecloth dropped over top of it. And see, she did fine, still holding fruit and everything. Over here, there's a big area in question. That's a longin, completely untouched. Not even any burnt leaves, so that's good. Burn barrel is right here. Proximity is like 6-8 feet. Java plum, also called jamun. I grew this from a seed from my buddy Mina's trees. He brought me some fruits a couple years ago. That's brand new growth, really close to the burn barrel. That was only about 4 feet away. And if you look just on the opposite side of the tree, sizzled off new growth. So we're talking about a difference of 3 feet away from the heat source made a difference. The large June plum, this is the tall one. Bigger fruits like that. See, still holding fruit. Still holding a nice big rack of beautiful fruit. We're in good shape, real close to the burn barrel. But the ones on this side of the tree, gone, froze off. So you can see, like right here, it's dropping all those fruits. But real close, it did fine. But really, the goal here is keep the tree alive. I don't care about a couple of fruits, keep the tree alive. Lemon zest mango, just got this one in. We put this one in the ground a year ago. Year and just over, a little bit more than that, something like that. Late last summer or 2 summers ago. So she did really, really well. I'm very happy. Barbados cherry, you see what happened. Top got cooked off, but the bottom is fine, which is great anyway, because I was going to cut all this off. And just, you know, for my pruning, these things like to be pruned. So Barbados cherry, 15 feet away from the burn barrel, is completely fine. Just lost some of the top growth, which I expected. But that's fine. Tree is absolutely fine. This is a plum. Stone fruits, no issue. Mulberries, no issue. Here is Brogden avocado. Brogden did extremely well. Not a touch of damage. Everything looks amazing. This is a second year tree. Trunk is getting on 2 to 3 inches. Down here low, this is what we're looking at. Rootstock is a bit bigger, but tree is doing well. Good size trunk that we've got now. And this thing has stood through last year's cold, this year's cold. This tree is happy and fine. My peach is just setting some flowers. Let's take a look at those. We got some peachy flowers just starting to pop. This thing is just getting after it. I imagine the nectarine is probably going to do the same thing. Meyer lemon, unfazed, just the young tips got hit. All of these trees out here do have irrigation on them. That's a neem tree. Looks like it took a little bit of damage, but we can always go down here and do a little scratch test and see. We have nice green cambium underneath, so we're in good shape. I'm sure that's fine. Sometimes you'll see some green cambium underneath these things and it looks kind of a little yellowish. I'm finding that when they look a little yellowish, they're probably going to die. There's a white mulberry. Yeah, it looks terrible, but it's completely fine. This is Choquette avocado. Strangely enough, it took damage on the interior. I have this tinted. I'm not sure. That was very odd. And just like the oldest growth took the damage. The young growth, it was fine, like completely fine. So that was weird. Over here is Wurtz. I do have some approach grafts here set on it, so I think that did help keep it a little warmer. The burn barrel's right there. This is a little more of a cold hardy tree. I did have some Mexican sunflower right next to it, but Wurtz showing 0 damage. The mango, my Edwards, the opposite side of Edwards, right here. Small amount of leaf burn, not even enough to take out the whole leaf, but a very tiny amount. Edwards did fantastic. Burn barrel's right here. This is second year I've done this. Nice big thick mulch bed underneath to push some heat up, nice and wet, and that tree is looking really good. Maybe even get some blooms this year. Fruit cocktail mango did great. All my mangoes out here, I have all these potted mangoes. They all took it and did fine. Not worried at all. This is lemon meringue. She is in the ground, 0 damage. I thought I saw some buds trying to push, but I've got a good bunch of trees here with just no damage, none at all. Here's another longan down there. That trunk you can see. This one did fine. There's some young new growth about to push out. 0 damage. More mangoes. Who is this? They're all over, so many of them. That's Gary. Little Hall avocado. Carambola, starfruit. This one's been a battle for me. Every year when it gets real cold, I lose it. This year, we even held flowers right through the freeze, right through 29. I actually had, at one point, we saw 31 point something, or 32.7 or something right in this canopy. And this was not covered. I had put the thing right there, the thermometer right there. But we're happy, we're good. Starfruit would be already showing the damage. You can see what's happened here. So yeah, this tree is fine. We did good there. Here's orange sherbet mango, 0 damage. This was surrounded by Mexican sunflower. This side did great. There's a little that is a Dade City guava brought to me by my friend Wendell. Dwarf Hawaiian mango, 0 damage. My guavas, this is Ruby Supreme. This one's Ruby Supreme. You can see out here we took a little bit of tip damage, a little bit of leaf damage, but happy. She's doing fine. Even shedding bark right now, actively growing, doing really well. This is one of the best fruits you'll ever taste. Ruby Supreme guava. God, so good. So the burn barrel project, while extremely labor intensive, and I wouldn't recommend it. It was a lot, and I was up for 2 days. We were out here, we were splitting wood. I have some people to thank. My good buddy Tyler and Ingrid, his lovely wife, came out here and split wood for me for a whole day. So we had piles of wood, and we were all over the farm, loading and unloading. Buddy Mitchell, intricate, coming through, helping me get ready, split wood, moving wood, getting fire pits ready, just everything we had to do. I had some really awesome people come to help me, and it wouldn't have happened without my friends. So love you guys, thank you. So here we got another citrus. That's a Tangelo. There's a little Meyer lemon that I grafted a while back. A little bud graft. You can see I put her on there, right there. See the little joint right there. That was a couple of years ago. Experimenting with citrus grafting, and that worked. This is a pineapple seedless. This is a navel. 0 coverage, 0 issue. The one thing I saw very different this year in protecting these trees and keeping everybody happy was that everyone is on irrigation. All my new plantings for like the first 2 to 3 years, I'm keeping them on irrigation. I want to see some good establishment. I want like really strong, happy, healthy trees. And then I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull all the in-ground stuff, and they're going to stand on their own once they get big enough and they've got good enough root systems. This Peruvian white guava, I haven't actually eaten the fruit, but what I saw was really good cold resistance last year. That one made it through 23 degrees and did not freeze to the ground. So this is actually 2nd year growth, and it's still looking like I've got solid leaves here. I do have a sprayer down here, right there, covering this whole area. So this tree is real happy and real comfortable, and I'm starting to see that when you have them watered properly and they get established strong, they're a whole lot more cold hardy. Here's Peluche Loquat that In fact, we're about to get some growth. We got new growth coming right there. Cherry of the Rio Grande, doing fine. They're completely unfazed. Quine Muck, this was an experiment. I don't know this plant very well. I've heard the fruit is fantastic. So far the tree I think is fine. We're gonna see. It is a young seedling. It's only about a year and a half old. That's a Savannah cherry. Another Eugenia, very similar to Cherry of the Rio Grande, but also completely cold resistant. Like there's strips of brand new growth. Like nothing touched it. These are the Eugenias. This is a Raza, Eugenia stipitata. And also just, young growth got sizzled off, and that's to be expected. But this plant is absolutely fine. Did great. This is the agro bed. That's a nectarine. There's no issue with any stone fruits. This is Aki. This was an experiment to see how cold hardy. They say 26 degrees when established. So I was hoping. So far, I gotta say, I think we're okay. But we will see. I think I would have seen more damage by now. So I think Aki is going to pull through. That's really cool. I would have thought of that as fully cold sensitive, but it's looking like it's going to get the job done. If I can get that established right there, that'd be really cool. Mexican sunflower all got whacked. My Napier grass looks like I got hit pretty good. I'm really curious about this Napier grass and how much these canes will hold on. Looks like the bottom ones did fine, but the stuff up in the air looks like it got a little trashed out. I don't know, they might be all right. We definitely have to look at the cold hardiness of that. There's Star. There's a sweet girl. Hey, baby. Let's keep working our way around. This is all overstock. This thing was jackhammered full. Let's take a peek. Still jackhammered full of all kinds of goodness. Crammed that 45-gallon Cecropia in there. Big old sugar apple. Too tall. Needs pruning. Everything in here did really, really nice. Everything's fine. Everything's happy. This is just a bunch of overstock. I'm going to go back here. I want to show you guys some other stuff that completely handled it. This is a great area. Again, it is irrigated, so my trees are strong. These are Jabuticabas. These are red hybrid. I got 3 of them being here. Pretty good sized plants. They had flowers through the freeze. They still have flowers. They're still budding. They're still opening flowers. Right here we've got, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me try and get in here. Hard to do. I'm just learning my new phone. But yeah, lots of flowers in here. These plants were unfazed. Lots of flowers in here on this one. He's got lots and lots and lots of little buds. No coverage. No, I didn't do anything back here. I just walked away. Patangatuba. All 3 of these Patangatubas stood strong. This one was planted early last year. It's a good sized plant, but they have proven themselves 2 years in a row to be real cold hardy and real tough, real strong. Again, it's another Eugenia. I really liking the Eugenia fruits, all the different varieties. I have another one back here called Eugenia pyriformis, and that one also just took it and stood up and no damage. That's lemon Cattleya guava, looking just fine. New growth took a hit, but again, not an issue. The tree is fine. Let's look back here. We've got our black raspberries. Black raspberries stood right through it. They don't care. They're loaded with fruit. Very loaded with fruit. We have plenty of them. Flowers even still. So very cold hardy. Finger lime. If anyone ever wondered about a finger lime does not care about cold. That's a big, fat, chunky finger lime. I got that from Nick's Edibles years ago. Nick was, I think he had the nursery open a year or two when I got this. So this was a teeny 1 gallon bitty finger lime, a little young one, and now it's a commander We eat fruit off of this all the time. I'm sure there's some in there. They're as spiky as could be. But there's generally some fruit hiding in here somewhere. Almost always. But we're due to flower again, so I'm sure we'll have some more. Key lime. Key lime laughed at it right here. Lots of fruit still hanging. We've been picking them up off the ground as they drop, but we have, plenty of nice little limes. So I'm looking at this as like plants to plant that are not going to be touched. Barbados cherry, another one, took a hit, lost the young growth, but you can see she's fine. It'll be completely fine, come back. Blackberries. Blackberries are completely hardy. There's a little pineapple back there, still holding on. The papayas, this is a big long conversation I think we're all gonna have. There's what's happening when they freeze. The small stuff turns to mush. This obviously is mush. This is gonna show you where it's no good anymore. And it's probably gonna work its way down. As it does, I'll find somewhere where it's strong and solid, and I will probably cut it off because that's just mush and gonna melt all the way down. But that's a ripe fruit. But these things will always come back. On one of my posts, Josh Jameson, who used to work over at Hart, brilliant guy, had said that he has experienced when you start to see this, that it tends to travel all the way down the stalk and infect. And he said it even seemed to infect some other plants. I haven't experienced that, but there's a good chance Josh has grown a lot more papayas than I have. So there's definitely, I'm sure, some validity to it. I just need to do more research, grow more papayas. But he is saying that it'd be a good idea to find your damaged area and cut it off, as opposed to almost every other plant in the world that we don't cut. So I'm going to experiment with that suggestion that Josh shot us over on one of our posts. Cherry of the Rio Grandes, there's 7 of them here. The only damage I saw on any of them was this one single branch right here with some very, very young growth that had just pushed out. And that is all we had. But other than that, these things are happy as could be. Let's get back over here. My beautiful ginberry. Ginberry was completely untouched. Still holding flowers. Oh, look, some fruits froze. But still has some flowers coming. Where are those little bundles of flowers? I saw them the other day. Yeah, there's some new ones coming in. But ginberry is a really solid plant. Highly recommend. And then, of course, all the annuals. All this stuff is unbothered. Someone was digging in my garden last night. But yeah, all the annuals, the kales, collards, cabbages, all this good stuff. Does not care. Just a big row of pineapple guavas that I put in back here. They're very cold hardy. Those are some avocados that froze off. Those are actually rootstock, overgrowth, and they're showing pretty strong. So I might just leave them, and it might take forever, and it might be lousy fruit. Or it might be phenomenal. But one thing that's for sure is it will be cold hardy. So I may prune this tree and grow it for a few years and see if I can get something out of it and see if it's worth it. Cinnamon. That is a very large cinnamon tree. That is cassia cinnamon. We have Ceylon cinnamon in another area of the farm. A little bit smaller and younger, but this is a cinnamon tree. That's been cold hardy forever. No irrigation, no nothing. It just does not care at all about the cold. Strawberry guava. Strawberry guava had just flushed all these new growth and all these little flowers and stuff. So the new growth got popped, but that plant is 1,000,000%. Green mulberry, just fine. Drop its leaves, it'll fly right back. That's Thai, world's best. The blueberries are getting ready to push some growth. Nectarine, let's check on my nectarines, see if we've got any buds breaking out yet. Usually when the peach goes, the nectarine is right behind. And so far nothing, but they are swelling, so we should start to see some action here shortly. This is the best fruit that I grow, I think. It's just so delicious. I can't wait for these. Some of the annuals, some of the stuff like the bok choy tips got a little burned, and it's always the young stuff. It's the very, very, very young stuff. It just hasn't grown a skin yet. That gets hit. So there's wifey. Hi, honey. I'm just doing the walk around, checking everything out. The bananas got socked, but they're fine. Just walk away, leave them alone. I'm gonna cut that down. It's not gonna finish. There's no green, there's no leaves. They won't produce any more leaves. So this stalk is going to get cut to the ground. But then I have this big fat monster right next to it. That's just, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10, 15 leaves away from fruiting. So that will be great. We'll get an early season flower on this one in the spring, and I'll finish those fruits next year. Same thing on the other side. There's 2 plants. So I'll take down these 2 big ones in the spring, because I'm leaving them there right now for protection, insulation, to keep the other 2 smaller ones happy. But we'll do it in the springtime. But I think that does it. I think that covers the majority of the place. So you can see what's cold hardy, what's not, what we did not protect, and it just stood through it. So I'm gonna go plant things and fix things and build things. Look at this dog, she's so cute. Starry. Just a beautiful girl. Such a beautiful girl. Such a cool rescue dog. That's a win. You get a snuggler like that right out of the shelter. She's such a good girl. Such a good girl. All right, guys, I'm gonna get to work. See you guys later. Plant the cold hardy things and come get them. We've got stuff here. Plenty of stuff. Plenty of things. Greenhouse is still full. We got to unload. But we have plenty of cool plants. Come see us.